of slaughtering these creatures through the use of harpoons, grenade-tipped. 60% die lingering deaths, painful deaths with holes punched into them. If they don't die quickly enough with the first harpoon, oftentimes a second one is used, and or rifles with a minimum 9.3 millimeter caliber. It's unbelievable if you see up close the actual killing of a whale.
There is no upper limit to the number of bullets that can be used. It could be as high as 200 rounds. Each burning piece of metal pierces through the animal's body, causing searing pain as well as internal organ damage and bleeding.
These are animals that flee. They're killers. The chase is given till these animals are starved of oxygen, tired, and yet they still fight and run. Not fight as in aggression, but fight as they have this will to live, this will to escape their predators. Even as they're tiring out.
An International Whaling Committee report concluded that 2 of every 16 whales die from asphyxiation. This happens when the whale is harpooned in the tail area and hauled out of the water so that its head and blowhole are submerged, causing it to suffocate and drown. Sometimes the animal was hauled onto the factory boat still alive. It is known that some whales are still alive and capable of feeling pain as they are sliced open, butchered, and processed. The bleeding of these gentle giants is so profuse that the factory ship deck is submerged in 6 to 8 centimeters of blood. Worse still, 60% of all females caught are pregnant, and the fetus usually dies shortly after the mother, or it is brutally killed. Dr. Lance Barrett-Leonard, who is head of the Cetacean Research Program at Vancouver Aquarium and an adjunct professor of zoology at the University of British Columbia, explains that the fatalities of whales extend beyond just the number that are harpooned and brought onto ships.
We know that when an old female dies, the mortality of her sons, at least, goes. The chance that her sons will die over the next year or so goes up. These old females are very important to the population. If something happens to an old female, if an old female is startled, everybody in the group reacts, and if a young animal is startled, that doesn't occur. So these kinds of relationships and assessing, who is most important to me, or who do I interact with most in these groups, happens in orca societies just the same way that it does in human societies.
In addition to captured whales, significant numbers are categorized as struck and lost, meaning they have either been hit by harpoons or shot but have managed to escape. These animals almost certainly die from their wounds. Whether caught or lost, the anguish is not limited to the whale itself, but extends to its entire pod.
One thing that you see that's very striking is that if a calf dies, its mother may carry its body around for days, sometimes even weeks, and a group of whales will sometimes hold up a dying companion or even a dead companion at the surface for long periods of time.
All of the methods of capturing and killing whales run counter to the humane slaughter and animal welfare standards set by the World Organization for Animal Health, or OIE, an intergovernmental body responsible for improving animal health, comprised of 172 member nations and recognized as a reference group by the World Trade Organization, or WTO. There are still countries that are seeking to overturn the International Whaling Committee ban to resume commercial whaling. To stop the death of thousands of whales, please write to your government telling them how you feel about these atrocious acts.
For for those who would like to help bring an end to the whaling industry, and it has to be done now, because every year passing means more thousands of whales killed, murdered. Contact organizations such as Sea Shepherd. Contact your own officials. Many countries out there are opposed to whaling. But by working with your own country, by letting your own voice stand up, by organizing rallies, and saying that we will not be a part of this carnage, it's the most effective way, because without a voice, we have nothing. Thank you.
May we all adopt vegan lifestyles to stop the suffering of all animal co-inhabitants on land, in the air, and in the sea. Thank you for your blessed presence today for Animal World, our co-inhabitants. Coming up next is enlightening entertainment, right after noteworthy news, here on Supreme Master Television. Heaven bless all beings to live in peace and dignity.